That's a man throwing knives at a dead pig. The video played during a recent hearing for OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney. I'll tell you why Clenney is hoping that video will help her in her effort to get out of jail on bail as she awaits trial for the murder of her boyfriend. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Courtney Clenney has been in jail since her arrest back in August of 2022. She faces a second-degree murder charge in the stabbing death of her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Clenney maintains she stabbed Obumseli in April 2022 during an argument at their condo in Miami in self-defense. Clenney wants to be released on bail, and her attorneys presented a video of a knife-throwing expert throwing knives at a pig carcass and testimony from a forensic pathology to back up her claim of self-defense. More on that in a bit. But first, more on what happened between Clenney and Obumseli back in 2022. The aftermath of the stabbing was captured by police body cameras.
You get up right now.
Why do you have to keep him upright? I just want to keep him
upright. Get up right now. Listen, get up right now.
Clenney was covered in blood when police arrived at the condo back in April of 2022.
No, I can't. I can't let this. Okay.
Wait,
it wasn't me. Guys,
Relax.
Why? No, guys.
Relax.
Boss, what's going on? Hey, you good? What do you have?
Relax.
What are you getting from? Yo.
Guys, please.
Relax. Sit down.
Here. Okay.
Sit down.
Just let me.
Sit down.
Okay. Baby, come here. Just sit down.
Officers had placed her in the hallway at the complex where she asked several times how Christian was doing, and then she told police what happened.
What?
Homicide's the one responding for DV.
Wait, is he dead? Is he dead?
Sit down.
Sit down.
Okay, no, I'll sit down. I just, you scared me.
Sit down.
He's not dead, is he?
We don't.
No, they're taking him to the hospital right now.
He's in the hospital right now.
I need to be at the hospital with him.
Oh, you're not going anywhere.
Why?
Because we're conducting an investigation.
It was I was self-defense. My mom was on the phone.
You okay? Well, listen, the detectives are coming. You're gonna talk to them, and then you're gonna explain your side.
But I'm gonna be covered in blood. I look crazy. I was holding him while he was spurting blood, trying to stop the blood.
Okay, so you guys started arguing. Then what happened?
Threw me against the wall, choked me. You're looking like this. He's never choked me to where it's like crazy stuff. But I couldn't breathe. Okay. Then he put me on the.
So he throws you against the wall.
Then he put me on the ground, choked me. That's happened 2 other times before.
Did he tell you anything? Did he say
just
anything?
like that kind of face, where I was really scared and I was trying to get him off of me and he wouldn't get off. Then he gets off, then I called my mom.
Okay.
And then I went into the other room and I was talking to her and I was crying and saying like something is happening, I don't know what's going on with Christian. And I was just crying, whatever. And then I went to the kitchen and he started charging at me. And I said I'm gonna throw this at you, and he goes, do it. And then he charged me, but he was far away, and I never in a million years I'm
he threw
scared.
a statue at you?
No, it was the knife. I said I was just holding it to be please don't come anywhere near me.
Clenney and Obumseli, no doubt, had a volatile relationship. It was toxic. Even her lawyers have told me that in prior interviews. Clenney was an OnlyFans model, and she used drugs. Clenney maintains Obumseli was abusive, while his family maintains that Clenney was actually the abuser. There are many videos that show Clenney acting aggressively toward Obumseli and hitting him.
Decide whether or not you're done, Kathleen.
I am mad that you told me to come.
Decide right now.
Courtney, that's a threat. I asked you so many times that I don't know, and I apologize, but you hit me.
Now, after Clenney stabbed Obumseli, detectives told her in the interrogation room that he was dead, and she appeared shocked.
I have to inform you that Christian did not make it. Okay. Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could.
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Now, fast forward to this recent hearing where Clenney's lawyers asked Judge Lauren Sheeran Cruz to release their client on bail.
What is your opinion in this case?
That a thrown knife, such as identical to the one used in this particular case to inflict a lethal wound,
That's Dr. John Marasini, a well-known forensic pathologist in Florida who says he's been an amateur knife thrower for 30 years. He believes Clenney could have thrown the knife from a distance and caused Obumseli's fatal wound, just as she claimed. I want to tell you about Upside, our awesome sponsor of this episode of Crime Fix. Upside is a free app that gets you cash back on things like gas, groceries, and restaurants. This is actually real cash back. It's money that appears in your Upside app, and you can transfer it straight into your bank account. The other day, I actually used Upside when I went to Dunkin' Donuts for a cup of tea. I claimed an offer for Dunkin' on the app and paid as usual using a card and followed the steps on the app and got cash back. Very, very easy. Aside from Dunkin', you can also use Upside at places like Shell, Exxon, 7-Eleven, Taco Bell, and that's just to name a few. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside or scan the QR code on your screen and use our promo code CrimeFix and get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's promo code CrimeFix for extra cash back. Now to the video. Clenney's attorneys enlisted the help of knife-throwing expert Bobby Branton. Branton owns Branton Knife Works out of South Carolina. The company makes throwing knives, and Branton has been throwing knives for decades, according to his website. Branton is throwing knives at a pig carcass that's fixed to a board. And you might be asking, why a pig carcass? Well, pigs have similarities to humans when it comes to muscle structures. Meanwhile, prosecutors are skeptical of the experiment and do not believe Clenney acted in self-defense.
So now, this experiment that was done, you were brought in and informed of the circumstances. You yourself were not outside of the defense team. That's your only knowledge of what happened in this case.
Well, yeah, I think the statement that the defendant made at some point in time was sort of an approximation. But she was in a room, and they asked her, how far away were you? And she said, well, how big is this room? And they said around 10 feet or something, words to that effect. And
prosecutors questioned how accurate this demonstration could be, given the size of the man throwing the knife.
And logically speaking, someone who can generate that, or has that much weight to them, would be able to generate a much larger amount of force stepping forward.
yes.
So the fact that we're looking at the larger than the defendant, taller than the defendant, Mr. Brand, throwing a knife from a different distance than what the defendant says, this experiment is completely different than what the defendant said and the circumstances she faced at the time in which Mr. Obumseli was killed.
I wouldn't say it's completely different. There are some differences.
The defense countered with attorney Sabrina Puglisi asking this question.
Were you present when I threw the knife during the demonstration and it stuck in the carcass?
Yes.
And I was able to throw this knife and make it stick?
Yes.
I want to bring in Josh Ritter. He's the host of Courtroom Confidential on YouTube, also a defense attorney and former prosecutor in LA County. Josh, the pig video is something I really haven't seen before. Obviously, humans and pigs share some physiological, anatomical similarities, so that's why they were using the pig. What were your thoughts when you see this video of this knife-throwing expert guy tossing knives at a pig, and for the defense to say, you should let Courtney Clenney out on bail because this proves or shows that things happened the way she said that they did?
I thought it was interesting. I've never seen something like that before. I have to applaud their efforts. I mean, they're really giving it a try here to try to convince this judge to let her out. I think at the end of the day, though, the judge is going to say, you know what, this is all fine and good, but these are great arguments in front of a jury. As far as my decision on bail, I've made that decision. Nothing that you've presented to me is convincing enough for me to believe that I should let her out. And that's essentially what they were asking for, is they're trying to say that, look, Judge, we have such a strong case based upon this new experiment demonstration that we've done, that you should go ahead and grant her bail. I don't think that will entirely convince the judge, but I imagine we will see this same type of evidence presented at trial.
To me, it was interesting that they actually, this was elaborate. This had to have cost a good chunk of change. They went to this knife throwing guy. He's an expert. He's been doing this for decades. You've got also the forensic pathologist who was the expert. And they're all standing there throwing knives at this pig to try to demonstrate this. The prosecution, meanwhile, says she went at this with a downward thrust, that she was, up close to Toby or Christian Obumseli when she stabbed him. Toby's his nickname, when she stabbed him. So it will be interesting to see if they're even allowed to present that to a jury. Do you think that would be allowed? Like, are we going to see a knife throwing expert as an expert witness at trial? Do you forecast that?
I think there's a really good chance of it. If their expert is allowed to testify, and I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, that is their theory, that is her claim, that this knife was thrown then rather than being held in her hand at the time of the stabbing, that she threw it in a act of self-defense. And to support that, they're allowed to call experts. Now, the prosecution might argue that this is based on conjecture and speculation, and this is only going to serve to confuse the jury. But, and especially if she testifies that that's what happened, I imagine they will be allowed to call an expert to support that, and that expert's testimony might include this demonstration.
Well, Josh Ritter, the judge said she'll make a decision on this at a later date next month on the bail issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.